The UK has just approved sun dimming experiments and the government wants to block the sun, and I'm going to explain to you why this is potentially catastrophic. Right now, £50 million has just been approved for solar geoengineering experiments. A plan to spray particles into the sky reflecting sunlight and cooling the planet. Sounds smart, but it's not. And this is the risks they won't mention. It could disrupt global rainfall, causing droughts and floods where food is already scarce, potentially triggering famines. It might shred the ozone layer, letting deadly UV radiations pour down on crops, animals and us, potentially increasing cancer. It won't stop CO2 buildup, so our oceans will keep acidifying, killing marine life, so it's not going to make any difference to the marine life in our oceans, it's just going to continue as it was. If they ever stop spraying, termination shock, the earth could heat up so fast ecosystems wouldn't survive. Right? And for you farmers, crop failure from reduced photosynthesis, like you haven't had it hard enough as it is. Sun dimming lowers the amount of photosynthetically active radiation, PAR, the type of sunlight that plants need to grow. This is just 101 knowledge. Effects on agriculture: lower light, weaker plant growth, lower yields for wheat, rice, maize, soybeans and other stable crops. The regions that will be at risk if this goes global, because it always starts with one place and then it spreads. Places that will be highest at risk: India, monsoon-dependent rice production, Sub-Saharan Africa, Southeastern Asia, parts of Latin America as well, okay? All these places, well, some of them that are already struggling in areas to feed themselves and to have a good income, they're going to be at incredible detriment. Sun dimming experiments to SRM interferes with jet streams and monsoon systems, shifting when rain falls and causing drought in some regions, while flooding others. Where there's droughts, forest fires can happen, crop failures from drought, flooded fields, rotting harvests, collapse of food systems that depend on predictable rain cycles. Stratospheric aerosols geoengineering could weaken the Indian and African monsoons, impacting the food and water security of billions, okay? I know I said this is starting in the UK, but it always starts with one place and it's going to happen throughout the rest of the world, mate, okay? So you need to pay attention to this. Breakdown of ecological timelines, okay? Pollinators and crop timing. Mechanisms. Many crops rely on pollinators like bees and birds whose behaviour is triggered by sunlight patterns. Sun dimming could desynchronize pollinator life cycles from plant flowering periods. Crops flowering at the wrong time. Lack of pollination. No fruits or seed production. Massive food shortages even if the plants survive the light reduction. And anything spraying aerosols into the atmosphere is just bad for everyone and everything all around. If sulfate aerosols are used as proposed, they can form sulfuric acid in the atmosphere, leading to acid rain, soil degradation from the acid rain, again, which would make it poor for woodland soils, habitats, crops as well. The soil will just be poo-poo caca. Acidified soils, nutrient depletion, failing crops, damage to freshwater fisheries and food systems reliant on water ecosystems. And there's a thing called termination shock. If this SRM program suddenly stops after doing it for a period of time, the ecosystem and nature can't catch up with the sudden fluctuations and the temperature change, okay? So if we experience anything like war, funding failure or political collapse, the sun's full intensity returns immediately. So it won't just be like, you know, a gradual increase, it'll be bomb back to square one with temperature jump like that, bang. But the CO2 levels will still be sky high because SRM doesn't remove carbon. Rapid global heating, termination shock. Crops and ecosystems can't adapt fast enough. Global agricultural collapse. Widespread famines, once again. It's like we need that, right? And you may be wondering who's funding this, and what a shocker, Bill Gates again. Him and his pals George Soros and his son. And even Bill Gates had a secret meeting with Keir Starmer about political things and the effort for net zero and things of that nature. And who else knows what they were talking about? Because, I don't know, is he putting his money in our Keir's pocket, bruv, to kind of push this stuff forward? Probably. Sun dimming isn't just a risk to the atmosphere, it's a risk to the entire planet. And it's a direct threat to the global food supply, okay? If you want to put your conspiracy hat on for entertainment purposes only, you know, control the food, control the population, okay? These people that are making these decisions in power are absolutely disgusting, and these people need to have the finger waved at them, the book thrown at them, because people that are actively pushing this forward are psychopathic, okay? It doesn't just start here. Once you let them get their foot in the door, where does it stop, okay? And who's to say that anyone that has this sort of control on a global scale, if someone has control with the thermostat, right, and it gets into the wrong hands, they could use this for war-type efforts, controlling people and things of that nature, okay? So it's not just, it's you need to be careful. This is disgusting. So there's ways that you can help. If you go to the petition here and you sign that, it can go towards a greater cause to kind of putting this alarm bells out there. And every single penny made from this video, if this goes viral, I'm going to be putting the money towards low-income families to support themselves if they need to put food in their children's stomachs. And then also, I'm going to be putting some of the money towards conservation efforts to look after our ecosystems, protect our woodlands and habitats and crops and so forth, alright? So, there we go. This is disgusting. This needs to stop.